What is going on, guys? It is Ahmed, and I am back today with yet another video for you all. And today, we need to discuss rug pulls, how to identify crypto scams, and how to stay away from them to our best ability. Remember, regardless of what happens in the crypto market, whether there's so much good things happening, right? Really good projects out there, there's always going to be some bad apples in the mix. And unfortunately, sometimes you might be the product of that. So what I want to do on this video today is like what I did with my Patreon group, and that's just kind of explaining how do we go through the vetting process? How do we identify tokens that actually are legitimate, ones that do have potential, ones that don't have rug pull potential? So we're going to dive into that as the overall market continues to bleed, and unfortunately, especially the speculative token market that we're heavily invested in, we're seeing a lot of our plays 20, 30, 40% down the last couple of days because of all of the facts that have been occurring, including the rug pull that happened with Satsuki token. So we're going to dive in. I have a little bit of a small spreadsheet here and this really good article, this Medium article that I actually really enjoy, and I'm going to share it in the description below. But before I dive in, guys, free money opportunities always for the community. There's a link down there for Moomoo, which is, again, it's a trading platform from the brokerage Futu, which is a publicly traded company here in the United States, and they've allowed me to become an affiliate of their program. They reached out to me and they said, hey, we'll offer all your subscribers and viewers in the United States, China, Hong Kong, and Singapore 5 free stocks when they click your link in the description and deposit money into their account. So make sure you take advantage, get your 5 free stocks. Each one could be valued up to $3,500. So please take advantage of free money opportunities along the way, especially when the market is bleeding, because maybe that gives you more buying power to buy your favorite crypto assets. Because when they panic, we always pounce. Now, remember, first thing I want to preface is by saying that I am not a financial advisor by any means. Rather, I always try to put you guys on the plays that I am in. And that's what I've consistently been doing for the last, about 6.5, almost 7 months in the crypto space. So this article here, let's scroll up so you guys are all aware. It's by Richard J. Odell, and it's called Vetting Cryptocurrencies, How to Know If a Cryptocurrency is Here to Stay. Now, we're going to skip over the top part because what I want to focus on is right here, and that is how to identify a crypto scam. I'm going to literally go through these different points that they have, and then some other things. I've reached out to some development teams and I asked them, what are you guys' thoughts about ways to avoid rug pulls? And a lot of them said it's very hard for individuals to identify them, but there are some overt things that are pretty obvious, red flags that you need to stay away from. So let's go ahead and get started. If there's no white paper, it's simple. Companies that do not provide a detailed white paper should be avoided. Without a white paper, there is no proof of intention. They have no proof of roadmap or what is to come. Cloud mining services. Obviously, there's so many different things. And I think honestly now what we're seeing is a lot of these pop-up Inu tokens that have literally no development team, undoxed teams that are just coming out and saying, 100x opportunities here and there. So we need to be extremely selective when it comes to these plays. Some of them are gold. Some of them truly do have potential. And I've mentioned every single token that I've talked about on my channel that ends in Inu. Believe it or not, I still hold a decent position in. I have always taken profits like I tell every single one of you guys to do. But again, I am long on the majority of these projects because I see the long-term potential in them. So cloud mining services. Scammers will promise you to make money from mining cryptocurrencies without computing hardwares. This is impossible. Multi-level marketing schemes. So again, claim that the main source of revenue stream is generated through affiliate marketing. That's all, just bogus. Subscription packages we don't really have to worry about because that's kind of more old school. Closed source. Legitimate cryptocurrency projects are all open source and make their own code their code base available to participants or investors in their project. ICOs that are closed source should be treated with suspicion as they probably have a code base or a token. They don't have one. So one of the big things that we need to understand is some people have been getting and investing in some of these tokens that don't let them sell after they establish their position. They just jump right in. They see the run up 30, 40, 50, 6, whatever it is, maybe up to 500% within a 24-hour period. And then they try to jump right in with them. And they try to click the sell button and it doesn't work. Well, guess what? If you would have at least taken the time to have someone vet the token, look at the smart contract, look at the contract underneath it, you would see, hey, the sell option is actually closed. So closed source is never a good thing. Make sure you always have access to the contracts that these teams are working with. And of course, no members. It's quite common for ICOs or other tokens to launch a product without disclosing the team behind the project. So undoxed development teams. Founders that hide should be treated with suspicion and not be afforded any credibility. So again, there are some arguments against this. But I believe, and honestly, for me, one of the things that I've talked to you all about is the development teams that want to ever have a single token covered on my channel. If they aren't publicly doxed, I require a private dox. But honestly, at this point, with all the things that have been happening and all the issues that are coming, these separate rug pulls that we have witnessed, right? As third parties, thankfully, but I know some of the subscribers and people have been products of these unfortunate circumstances. So for me now, I think a public docs for any team that wants to really take their token to the next level, that should be a requirement. Because what are you hiding from? Why are you not trying to show your face behind the hard work and dedication you are putting towards a project? Because to me, honestly, that sounds kind of malicious. It sounds like an issue. And I understand there are arguments against this. We can talk about Bitcoin. We can talk about Shiba Inu, some of the biggest, most successful projects in the crypto space that don't have doxed development teams. But with everything that's been going on, I just give you guys that kind of sense of warning. Hey, a doxed development team should give you that reassurance, because now we can attribute a face, a name, and potentially a location to the person that is, again, producing or creating these different tokens. So, again, I really like the fact that they kind of went over some high-level points, and in addition, general overview of things to look for to avoid rug pulls. And this is what some of the developers told me to look out for, and this is probably what I should share with the community. Liquidity locked. It's a must. We got to ensure that the liquidity is locked for certain tokens. We hope that we can see liquidity lock for at least a year. If not, as you guys saw, for example, Zombie Inu or Xenu's team, they just locked their liquidity for 100 years. But one thing that they mentioned is burning is better than locking. That was per the Inuyasha developer himself, Mr. Joey. Team tokens is something else you need to look into. What does the distribution look like within the actual development team, the developer wallets? Do they have a significant percentage of the total circulating supply? Because if that's the case, that's also another red flag. Contract audited and deemed safe. Again, we need to make sure that they have some kind of audit to ensure there are no big overt issues within the contract. So we want to look for red flags, and that's where Certic comes in, TechRate, some of these other auditing firms that have the guys, the coders, the professionals who will do their due diligence to ensure that it's safe. Delivering items on the roadmap and not just talking the talk, but also walking the walk. It's a must. We need to see individual teams continue to progress on their roadmaps and keep investors excited. If they just are talking a lot of cool things about, oh, we're creating this project and that project, but there's really no progress that we're seeing, that's also another red flag to say, hey, maybe it's time to abandon ship from certain projects. Looking for an honest development team. Doxing, of course, tremendously helps. And that's something that was also on the Vetting Cryptocurrencies article we were just reading. So, of course, honest individuals, again, the great majority of teams are honest and are looking for the investor's best interest. But unfortunately, as I mentioned, there are some bad apples that'll ruin it for the rest. That's what's happening right now. Because of all the fear that's occurred within some of these rug pulls, people are now fearful that all these tokens could be products of rug pulls. But in my opinion, the answer is no. Rather, right now we're seeing a lot of uncertainty and doubt, lots of fear in the market. But this is a time for us to potentially do what? To potentially pounce on this panic, because a lot of things are on discount. Every token I've probably talked about in the last few weeks are discounted on this very day. Last but not least, this is a little bit difficult to have, but having a DAO, right? So this is something directly from, again, Joey from the Inuyasha team. And I also asked the Mononoke dev and a few others to help me out with this list. But having a DAO, a multi-sig wallet, is also a huge positive. It makes it pretty much impossible for a team to pull the liquidity, the LP tokens out of liquidity. So out of the liquidity pool. What does that mean? A multi-sig wallet means it requires multiple individuals within the development team to each unlock the liquidity. Instead of one person unlocking it and then being able to basically just rug pull, it's multiple individuals that have access to this, and it requires almost like, I don't know, like having a password that's divided up by a full dev team. Maybe you have 2 letters here, 2 letters there to make up a password that's 20 letters long. So a multi-sig wallet, I think, again, if we see this, that should also give you that reassurance. And again, guys, always remember, this list is not comprehensive, and there might be things that I missed, which is okay. But all I hope for this video and what I hope moving forward is at least individuals, before they jump into a token, they consider looking at the risk. Always only invest money you're willing to lose into any of these speculative plays. Even if all the boxes check off, there could still be some issues, not rug pull related, that can occur, because this is a very volatile market. If Bitcoin doesn't do well in Ethereum, oftentimes other altcoins will also follow. And of course, the more speculative ones are easier for people to click the sell button on than the more definitive plays like Bitcoin or Ethereum. I really appreciate everybody's love and support. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I am finally back home and it feels so good. So make sure before you click off, you smash that like button like you always do. Subscribe to the channel. And that's all I have for you guys today. Until next time, everybody, safely, please safely keep investing. Peace.